Hello. I thought my energy today sucks. I think it's the weather.
We'll hype you up.
Hey, welcome everybody to. Do y'all even know the name of this podcast?
I don't.
Jimmy's podcast.
Jimmy's podcast. Yeah, it's called In Good Company. The more I'm around great people, the more blessed I become. So I think that this organization has kind of done that to me. So and I think. There's a real reason why I have both of y'all here, because I think it's amazing what you all do. But Trish Segrest and Casey Flaherty of the Segrest Flaherty Group. Trish was the original investor that brought Keller Williams to Louisville. Casey is her grandson, and they run a really successful real estate team. And other than that little introduction, tell us about y'all.
You go first.
Yeah,
Your computer.
All right. Yeah, I'm Casey Flaherty. 26 years old, jumped in this game fresh out of high school, 18 years old, had no idea what to expect. Obviously, the big reason that I got into it is lady to the left of me right here. I always knew what she did, didn't realize, all the things that come into play when you're a realtor, but I'm very blessed, and it's been a ride, but it's all worked out, and I couldn't be happier with my decision to join.
So you, a couple little things. One, yeah. I'm going to ask you the Louisville question. Where'd you go to high school?
Eastern High School.
So you graduated
2016.
2016, and you had your license by 2017?
No. He had it by August of 2016.
By August. Okay. That's
He
by the end
called
of the
me
summer.
up and he said, "Grandma, I need to make a lot of money. I'm coming to work with you."
Okay.
And he
Awesome.
did.
And he did.
And he did make a lot of money.
Yeah, I was in ISA for about maybe a year and a half before I became full-fledged realtor. But no, it was
So
a huge learning process.
Did you start it before high school was over, or did you wait until?
I think I started as soon as high school ended.
Yeah.
I tried it out, did the 2-week crash course.
Yeah.
I went to the home services school and knocked it out with two of my other buddies at the time. So I was really fortunate to jump into it with, other people. That way I had, some people to, kind of hold me accountable, I'll say. So no, it was great.
Awesome. Yeah. And Trish? Oh, by the way, you've been married a year yet? Just over a year?
Yeah, it's been just over a year.
Okay,
just over
awesome.
A year. Yeah.
So I am older than Casey.
She is
Just
the goat.
little.
The goat.
I'm just a little bit older than Casey. But so I got my license in August of 1977. A couple of my girlfriends, Paula Bennett and Carla Webb, bowled with a guy named Larry Wilhelm on the Courier-Journal League. Mm-hmm. And Larry had a little real estate company called the Oxford Company that was right over the top of Tiffany's Bakery in Oxmoor. It was the perfect location. And they came down one day and said, "Hey, we're going to go get the book and take this test and work with Larry. You want to do it?" We were all stay-at-home moms, you know. And I said, "Well, what is it?" And they told me, and I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it." So we all got the book, and then we did a little cram course at Elgin Real Estate School, which was on Bardstown Road in Speed. Tony and Lucille Elgin. Okay. They moved to Florida and opened a school down there, but we did that. We took the test. Mm-hmm. We passed. Back in the day, you went to the fairgrounds, sat in this big room with big tables. It was all longhand. They mailed it away. 3 or 4 weeks later, you got a letter in the mail saying you passed. So that's how it all started. So we worked for Larry Wilhelm. His broker was Rita Nevin's husband, Terry Nevins, who really wrote a fishing magazine, and that's really all he wanted to do. So we lasted there 3 or 4 months, and then we all went to Gibson, Van and Schmidt in J-Town, worked for Dave Smith, and I was the only one that stayed in. Carla went back to teaching, and Paula remarried and moved away, and so I was the only one that stayed in. So I was Gibson, Fan and Schmidt for several years, and then it got sold out to the home store and then to Coldwell Banker. Right. And by that time, I had married Bill, and his brother was a realtor at Seminole, Jim Segrest. Okay. And he kept saying, "Trish, if you're going to sell real estate, you got to come to a real company." Yeah. So he brought me to Seminole. It was very scary, and the rest is history. So yeah, I suppose it's been 47 years I've been doing this.
You have forgotten more about real estate than I would probably ever know. Well, and you're a mainstay not only here at Keller Williams Louisville, but the Greater Louisville Association of Realtors. Everybody knows Trish.
Yeah.
You've been in. I wonder, do you know the answer to this? Who's the longest tenured member of GLAR?
I absolutely have no idea.
We need to find that out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
probably
a good
could.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who?
Steve Priest, I think, has been longer than me.
Yeah. Who else?
Because his dad, was a realtor before that.
Who else that you know of that might have started before you?
Carol Pike and I started together. We were at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of Daryl Deffler.
Who?
Deffler, Southeast Real.
Oh, yeah, Daryl
on Dixie
Deffler.
Highway.
Yeah, I know Daryl. I don't know if he's been longer.
Yeah.
He's younger, I'm sure, than me. I know
Yeah.
Daryl's younger than I am.
So Priest, Pirtle. What about Pirtle?
No, not Pirtle.
Really?
No, he hadn't been as long as me.
Okay.
No, and Rick Shaw was a T-taught at J-Town High School, so he hadn't been as long as me.
You know, his son's. His
Yeah.
son,
Yeah.
Rick Shaw.
Rick Shaw, yeah.
I mean, how
Rick
did
Shaw.
have you seen his card?
Yeah,
It's
he
a
has
rickshaw.
the rickshaw on it.
Do you know what a rickshaw is?
I don't even know what a rickshaw is.
You know,
Okay.
like in
Rickshaw realtors. You don't know what a rickshaw is in
No,
China? They pull people and, somebody pulls it. And they
What-
sit in a little wagon and the
okay,
that's a
like a
rickshaw.
carriage or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
it's
little
like a carriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Back in the day, in 1980, when the interest rates hit 18%, I got a second job working at B&K Printing, and I used to do all Rick's printing for the business
Yeah.
cards and all that. He'll tell you he used to bring it in and we'd print it. Yeah.
rickshaw.
They had the cutest video on Facebook last night with him knocking doors.
Oh, really?
And then finally somebody answered the door, and it was like game over. It was really cute.
I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah.
So what brought you to where you are right now? Because I know you were at Semin, you went to somewhere else.
Semin, then I was giving them like $90,000 a year, and it was like, okay, not a good business decision.
Right.
So I went to Remax, and I was Remax until we opened the first Keller Williams office in this one in 2005.
Okay.
So almost 20 years ago now.
Right.
But
and you have a history of employing, is it nepotism?
Family.
Employing family.
Yes.
Yeah.
At one time, my brother worked with me and two of my sisters.
Right. And today your team is made up of
Three of my grandsons,
Three grandsons.
my niece, and Todd.
and Todd.
And Todd, yes.
Todd, the adopted
family member.
Yeah.
He's
Adopted family
adopted,
member.
yes.
He fits right in with you all.
Yeah, it's
a
all
good-
good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Kate, what is it like for you, basically standing on the shoulder of a giant in the Louisville real estate world?
Definitely very big shoes to fill.
Right.
I would admit that wholeheartedly, but it's great. I feel very blessed and fortunate to have such a good role model and somebody that I'm so comfortable with to work with every day. It's fun working with your family, but there's obviously the bad side where you got to actually start working. She holds me accountable, and that's all you can ask for in a leader too. So she really, it's great working with her. Honestly, she's a wealth of experience. The fact that everyone
Except
knows her in this
technology.
industry.
I'm not a wealth of, yeah.
Well, it's a good combination
Yeah.
because
I don't know if I could do it now without him because
Right.
of the technology. It's, Casey builds websites. He's
Yeah.
amazing. He
Yeah.
does all of our social media. He saves me on you don't even know how bad, like,
I have somebody that saves me on every real estate
Yeah.
deal, so I know what the value of that.
So I think we have become, we're pretty equal partners, I think,
Yeah.
Yeah. We balance each other out well, and that's kind of what I think we both have found as I've progressed into the ownership role with her, and I think we complement each other well, and I think it's been good.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to next year. And
So do y'all have do y'all have titles on your team? Like,
No.
I mean, so that there's no. It's just an assumed
Somebody
hierarchy.
asked Brendan the other day, they said, do you call her Trish? And he's like, no, I call her Grandma.
Grandma.
So Patrick, opened his own construction company a
Yep.
couple years ago, sure-handed. He's still selling real estate on the side.
Yeah.
And then Brendan is the baby, and he got licensed about a year ago, but he's doing really well.
Good.
They're all in bold.
Yep.
I made them all go to bold. So
Are you doing bold?
So then I had to do
She's
it too.
doing bold as
I
well.
didn't
I
think it
thought
was
you- yeah.
fair to make them
Right.
do it, and I didn't do it. And it's
Yeah.
been a challenge, but it's always good.
Yeah. It is really hard. I love bold.
Yeah.
And this is not a discredit to it. It's hard as the running a team to show up every day in that thing, but it's so well worth it.
No, 100%. She's definitely the example of a leader that leads by example. I mean, for her not to be actively doing stuff is probably her biggest curse. Is she always needs to have her hands in something. She tried retiring for a while back and didn't work out well. She enjoys it, and that's I think that's the real reason she's been as successful, as she is. She looks at it in a perspective that it's not work. She gives her whole heart into every transaction, and a majority of our business is referral based.
Yep.
Especially coming from her, everyone loves her, and that's the best type of mentor I can have, because when you get into selling, you don't think about all the client hands-on stuff that goes beyond the closing, and she's been really good at that. So it's been awesome.
Well, that's we know through Keller Williams the value of maintaining relationships with people. I think the more I talk to people, that's just basic business stuff, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Having good relationships with people is huge. So we talk about having a database. How big is your database?
About 800 people. We cleaned it out about 2 or 3 years ago, I guess.
Yeah. So really, the total number is like 1,600.
Yeah.
About 800 people that she knows and bought and sold with her.
That you'd call your sphere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. We've really, and we've really done a much better job in the last, we had COVID, which was crazy, but we've done a much better job these last couple of years of, we have a little sheet when we come in the morning, how to start the day. And it's 5 calls, 5 texts, 5 emails, 5 cards, and post on social media. And some days, Amanda and I are better at writing the cards than the boys are, but but I write cards for all of us. So it's been fun. And a lot of people have reached out because they've gotten, a personal card from us. We've always done, we do a pretty basic 36 touch, and I'm sure we could probably do more, but we're pretty good about that. We're pretty good about touching the database at least 3 times and calling, and it is fun though to catch up with people. Somewhere, where was Brendan this week? And he met this guy named William Walker, and the guy said to him, "How do you know Trish Segrest?" Yeah. And he goes, "It's my grandma." And he goes, "You got to be kidding me. She sold me my first house, and it was like a long time ago." So I sent him a card yesterday.
Yeah. There's been so many times I've heard that. "Oh, you work with Trish? She sold me my first house." I'm like, holy cow. How many clients have gotten into real estate because of you?
Oh my God. So many agents that Yeah. Alla Chapovsky was my client when they first moved here from Russia. Okay. I'm going to have lunch with her next week. I'm excited about that. Nancy Clark, Teresa Wallace. Okay. Keith Farrell, Brandy Farrell. And I don't know if they're related or not. Their names are the same, but I don't know if they know each other. But I probably have a dozen clients that have called me and said, "Hey, do you think I could sell real estate?" And I'm like, "Well, sure you could. If I could do it, you could do it." And most of them have been pretty darn successful, so I'm proud of that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, Chelsea and Don were both clients, and then they ended up working for us. There was you said something that made me think about where I wanted to go. What's the craziest thing about working with her? What's one of her crazy? Oh my gosh, Trish's.
No, it's more the opposite. When I was at home recuperating, I have the boy. They're over there. We're working at my house, and I say, "I think I'm going to buy a porch bed." And Casey was like, "What's a porch bed?" And I'm like, "It's a bed on chains or whatever. You can lay out there and read, or we could have a fire out there. It would be fun." He goes, "Oh, Grandma, I think you could get a lot more fun out of a hot tub." And I was like, "Well, I never thought about having a hot tub." In 30 minutes, they were all at the Watsons FaceTiming me on the hot tubs.
Gotta treat yourself.
So we now have a wonderful hot tub on our deck. We have like vacation time over there because we have the hot tub. They put a big screen TV on the deck, and now we have a basketball goal over our garage.
We're going to get Trish to start hooping.
I'm going to start. I'm going to play basketball. I think I can do it.
Have you been shooting?
I've been practicing a little bit. Don't tell them.
Just wait.
Don't tell them. It's been fun though.
So y'all spend so much time together in the office. I mean, you all are probably the one team that is at the office almost every day.
Every day.
What is it like when you leave the office? How much do y'all see each other outside the office?
Well, I would say our team or our family in general is really family oriented. You know, we do every holiday is always her house, and honestly, as soon as we leave the office, a lot of the time she's calling me, let me know how her appointments went, and communication's key.
Yeah.
We've got a team group chat. I think that's important too. But we see each other pretty much all the time, which is a blessing because spending time with your family members while they're here is the most important thing. That's what I regret about other family members I feel like that have passed. I wish I would have spent a little bit more time, and being able to work with a very special woman like her is...
I mean, really, what could be better than going to work every day and being with your grandkids and your niece, who you love with all your heart?
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, I get to go to work with my wife.
Yeah, you do. So,
exactly.
I mean, there's nothing better in the world than, than having that. And so, but we do. We have a huge family, and we have a very close family. Like, we did chili day a couple weeks ago, and we all got in the hot tub, and the boys played some basketball and
ate chili.
We just ate chili, and or they'll call.
What kind of chili, Trish?
Do you want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Give them the truth.
It was 4 family packs from Wendy's, and their credit card machine was broken.
Yep.
So I think I had $30, and I said, well, give me 2, and I'm going to go up to the cash machine and get more money, and then I'll come back.
Yeah.
And I did. So we had leftover chili, but yes, it was the prize-winning chili from Wendy's.
So that was 3 years ago.
Yes, it was. And I continue to carry that.
It's a new golden rule.
There's
no
a
Wendy's
rule.
chili.
Yeah.
So to paraphrase it real quick, we have a chili cook-off every year. Trish was supposed to cook chili. She did not. She went to Wendy's, got chili, dumped it in a crock pot, and won. And
First place.
Shout out to Wendy's.
It was Patrick's idea.
Yeah.
I swear it was Patrick's idea.
Well, the funny thing is, there was a realtor in our office at the time. Her name was Wendy. And when you said Wendy, everybody's like, what? Wendy cooked it? You're like, no, we got it from Wendy's.
In fact, I think Nikki Brockman was sitting next to me, and she goes, this tastes a little bit like Wendy's chili.
You're biting your lip.
And when I won, I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I got to cop out. But it was pretty funny. Yeah.
What does I think you've wore every hat in the Keller Williams world. You've been OP, you've been team leader, you've been a broker.
Yeah.
Is there anything you haven't?
I haven't been
PC coach.
I think I did do that for a little while.
Not surprised.
What does being at Keller mean to you?
I came in the beginning because their whole thing was God, family, business, and that's my deal, God, family, business. Like when you talk about somebody's big why, I always thought the big why had to be like some wonderful thing, like you wanted to start a nonprofit organization or just some big wonderful thing that you wanted to do. And I could never really put my finger on what that was for me.
Yep.
But then we were at family reunion one year, and I went through an exercise. They brought me up there, and they're like, will you answer these questions? I was like, sure. And it was pretty obvious that my big why is family. And I feel like God knew that somebody was going to need money and it wasn't going to be me. And so he gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that I've been able to help them when they were young and struggling.
Talk about that a little bit more. You just skimmed over that like it was no big deal.
What?
You said God gave you the ability to make money.
Yeah.
What? Talk a little bit more about that.
Well,
because I know how generous you are. That's I'm trying to get you to get to.
I was a single mom for 5 years with 4 kids, and they were in private school. They were in Catholic school. Not a single one of them goes to church, a Catholic church, but it's beside the point. But I struggled to keep them there because I felt like it was small. They knew everybody. It was healthy.
Yep.
So I worked 3 jobs for 5 years until I married Bill. And I still kept 2 jobs for quite a while after that. Right. So there was I was a hard worker, but it was just weird the way I got into real estate and the way it just obviously was my thing, But for years when I was at RE/MAX, and anybody that was there with me will tell you, I did 100 to 112 deals every year for years and years by myself with a part-time assistant.
Right.
So I worked 24/7. It was crazy. And Betty Radford used to laugh because she'd say, you got all your Christmas shopping done? And I'd be like, no, I got to wait till the closing next week, which was like 2 days before Christmas. And then I'm out running around like a maniac trying to get it all done in 2 days. And she'd say, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm used to it. I don't pay attention. But like I say, we have a huge family. So I have my 4 children, and I have Bill's 3 that their mom died, and I'm all they have. And then we have 37 grandchildren and 17 great-grandchildren, and 1 coming this month.
Right.
So we have a huge family, and they got married young and, whatever. And it was my thing. I never worried about money. Money just came when I needed it. And I know that sounds weird, but I do that weird little, I have my little affirmations. I do.
Yeah.
I'm an opportunity magnet. Many wonderful things are happening today to me. Money flows freely in my direction to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. And it did. It worked. Money just showed up when I needed it. Not really when I needed it, but when somebody else needed it. So I've bought 1 million cars for grandkids.
Yeah.
I've co-signed on lots of houses, and I am the Venmo queen. I am the Venmo queen.
Do you
yes,
actually use Venmo?
Oh my God, Grandma, could you just help me out a little bit? There's so many of them, and I'm so grateful that I was able to do that for them. Like I say, my kids my baby will be 50 this year.
Yeah.
I can't really believe it, but he will be. But I was able to help them when they were young, with young kids and struggling, and by the grace of God, it just came when I needed it, and it's been wonderful. And
people have talking about money sometimes is an odd thing to do. People don't like to do it, and yet it's almost like your love language is giving.
For sure.
Mine's cooking for people. Yours is giving people money, but
giving people money.
Yeah, and at one point I did have a struggle with it's basically success, right? Like how do you keep wanting more? And I'm like, and someone told me, said, if you have the ability to create a tremendous amount of wealth and you don't, it's actually selfish because of the number of people you can help with that money. Yeah. So you almost truly
given it all
embody
away.
it.
Obviously embody.
I've given it all away. But you know what? I don't care about it. I live in the same house I've lived in for 34 years. Up until last year, it had 1 bathroom. 1 bathroom.
Right.
It's manageable. It's on a cute street. It's close to all the kids. I'm happy there. I did buy a new car last year.
Right.
And so, but that's not what makes me happy.
Right.
These people right here are what make me happy.
Other than money, and if you want to talk about money, you can. How does that show up? Her like how she sees the world.
Oh,
how does that show up in your world?
Wow. Well, I don't even know where to begin. In our family, she is that one go-getter that's made everything happen. So obviously, my whole life, I've always looked at her like, if there's somebody that's successful that I know that I can look up to, it's been her, and she is the most giving person. As you can tell, she's really selfless. And that's like you hit the nail on the head. That is her love language, without a doubt, is just helping people. She truly enjoys it. She could live a completely different lifestyle. I try to tell her all the time that, I don't think she realizes how successful her career has been and, currently is right now. She's made a lot of things happen for people, and, that's it. She's just very much relationship based and cares about her family. Big shoes to fill, but don't know where I was going with that. So what was the original
They're going to have to take care of me when I get old, though.
Yeah. I was just kind of what does her love language mean to you, and how does it show up in your world? But I don't think I've ever. A couple things. I mean, just the fact that you were on the forefront of bringing Keller Williams. I admittedly have Kool-Aid in my veins. I love everything about this organization. I think it's great. When we didn't join about 6 years ago, I sent an email to her. Did I ever tell you this? I sent an email to her saying, "Hey, just want to let you know I appreciate meeting you, but I'm not going to join at this time." And she responded something like, "Oh, it's sorry. Some people make mistakes sometimes, or something like that." Just basically, yeah. But just the fact that the Keller Williams has changed my life. I think it had a tremendous, I wouldn't say it changed your life, but it had a tremendous impact on you, just the way people think around the business and things like that. So had you not been a part of that group, we might not even be here. So
been good to me. It's been really good to me. And I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Yep.
I think now we have a wonderful group of agents up there. It's so nice. You get off that elevator. Alexis is always happy, ask how you are, and you walk down the hall and everybody's good morning,
Yep.
and it's great. It's really good.
What does Keller mean to you?
Keller's all I've known. Keller's all I've known. Keller, I mean, she hit the nail on the head. It's the culture. I think our office really embodies that to a different level. There's not one person in the office that is not willing to share exactly what they do. I mean, this guy across the table right now is killing it, and I think he offers more advice to people, classes, these amazing podcasts too that are super helpful. But that kind of defines Keller for me. I think everybody in this brokerage and even the other brokerages, the other Keller offices, they're always so eager to help. They're all on the same page, and I think it's like a shared mindset of we all want to be successful, and instead of looking at other agents like competition, they almost uplift each other. I love that.
Rising tide lifts all ships. Yeah. That's one of my favorite quotes.
I do love it.
All right, what would you tell 20-year-old you?
Oh my gosh, lock in right now. For me personally, when you hopping in 18 years old, I was, there's a lot of personal stuff that I had to figure out. I was not at the same mindset I am now, and I think just experience has changed that. I probably would say take it a little bit more serious, Casey. At 20 years old, you have a lot of limiting beliefs, and I think just gaining the confidence through experience is what really helped me. I didn't believe I could be the person I am today at 20 years old.
Right.
And I also had very high expectations of where I should be because of this lady right next to me too. And you want to be self-made too. Whenever you have a family member that's very successful in the business, the one thing you want to do is show the rest of your family, hey, I could do this myself. So that was kind of why I went the ISA route, kind of why I, instead of leaning on her sphere, find out who I can help, go that internet lead route and prove to yourself. So I would say take it more serious and be patient. Everybody's journey is different. And I think my big breakthrough was stop comparing myself. I was, 19, 20 years old, 21 even, and I'm comparing myself to agents that have, been in the business for 20 plus years, people that have giant spheres. All my friends, they weren't buying houses until maybe this year, maybe, so it was tough. It was hard to wrap my head around that, real estate, what you think it is versus what it actually is. It's a grind. And I love the grind now. I've learned to embrace it, and I'm definitely happy with it, but lock in, Casey.
Casey's got a good, he's calm, and he's, the way he processes is so different from the way, I've been at it a long time, and I lose my patience with people. And he pats me on the back. He's like, Grandma, now if you get mad, they win. And I hear that every week because I'm like ready to kill people, you know. So, but I think I've just been doing it so long. And I think the only reason I have been able to do it for this long is because I'm so daggone ADD that I'm like all over the place, so I don't concentrate on any one thing long enough to get burnout. And thank God for that.
You asked earlier about how it is day to day. It's honing her in. It's honing her in, and that is the biggest responsibility I've had. It's just, hey, let's use systems, let's use an SOP, let's start tracking things. It's tough, but that's what makes her such a good salesperson at the end of the day.
My business partner's a lot like that.
Yeah.
I think I think you told me you're like the only person that I know in this world that is similar to my grandmother is Jennifer Smith.
To a T, and there's no coincidence they both run amazing businesses. I mean, there's a reason why both their names come up all the time, and I'm just happy to be a part of their world.
When you are a certain way, like my sense of urgency is off the charts. I want to do it. I want to do it now. I want everybody else to do it now, and it just doesn't work like that. But it takes somebody to kind of like bring you back.
You're yin and yang.
Absolutely.
What does the next iteration of the team look like? Is it small and locked in? Is it, going to start expanding? What have you done your 25 business plan yet?
Should have came to that class. I was jealous.
Next week.
Oh, is it next week? You doing another one?
Tuesday. Yeah.
I think next year, we talked about it. Right now, we've got a smaller team. When I first joined the team, we had a team of maybe 12 agents that she ran, and completely different model, but right now I think we're at a really good spot because for once we got our systems aligned, got our values aligned, and we come to work and we enjoy the people. Not that we didn't enjoy anybody else, but I think we finally found a solid foundation that complements everybody's strengths, because that's another thing too. We didn't really identify which each team member brought to the table. We kind of just set out a generic, expectation list. So now we've got that down. Systems have been great. We've got a good admin staff behind us too. Thank you, Shantae. We're definitely going to be growing next year. We have a goal of 1 agent per quarter.
Okay.
And that's probably where we're at. Yeah.
I'm trying to sit back and let them do what they want to do, because I'm hoping that I'll be around for 10 more years, but I want things to go in the direction that they see, and I'll still be here and come every day and work hard. But I think it needs to be their decision on how they move forward with the team.
Now, when you say there, who are the decision makers?
Well, Casey's
it's really
the biggest one. It's
me.
Casey and I, but Brendan will grow into it, and Patrick
you
is.
have to have shared.
Patrick is kind of on the fence. He's loving the construction part of it, but he's expressed to us that he'd like to be a little bit more involved next year, and they it's amazing. These boys and Amanda, of course, we love her with all our heart, and we're so glad she's back, and they all get along great. All 4 of them are just great friends on the outside as well as in the team. They all complement each other, and they'll make good decisions. I totally trust them. They'll make good decisions.
We'll watch him. We'll make sure.
Watch him. Casey is a big part of that because he's with me every day, and he just has a lot of insight into how the team came from here to here, and I totally would trust
institutional
this
knowledge.
Decision. Yeah.
Has there ever been a rift that either started in real estate and went to the family, or from the family into real estate?
Kind of. We had a little glitch a couple years ago because Patty got weird.
Gosh.
My Patty. He was going through a lot of stuff personally. And he really loves working with his hands. And I think he was just afraid to come to me and say, "Hey, Grandma, would you be mad if I wanted to do this?" And he was just uncomfortable in his own skin at the time. And he'd come in and I'd say, "What's the matter with you? You're not acting like my Patty." And he'd say, "I don't know what you're talking about," But Patty's back to normal now, and we're all happy. And he's really enjoyed this construction, but I think it's given him a whole different outlook on things. And but no, I think 99% of the time, and we don't ever have an issue.
Our personalities
really don't
mesh really well. I don't think I mean, maybe in the beginning, actually, I take that back. When I was 18 through 21, completely different mindset. She definitely got on me about not taking it as serious as I should have. But no, I mean, overall, she's always, the person you see right here and the person you see in front of you right now we're the same. Personal lives versus business. It's so important that we understand that and we don't get frustrated at each other. We're human at the end of the day. We have bad days. I know when she's having a bad day, and I think she knows when I am as well. And it's been great. We haven't had too many bumps, I would say. Obviously, we had to figure some things out a couple of years ago because she wanted to retire and hand the business off to 2 young men that had no idea how to run a business. We were great salespeople maybe, but as Jimmy knows himself, I'm sure, running a team is a completely different beast. So and that's the real reason we started, we wanted a smaller team until we felt comfortable enough. I think we're finally in that position now where I can hold other people accountable and feel confident about it. But no, it's been great.
Yeah,
she hasn't killed me yet.
I used to be mad when they didn't come in the office every day, or if they wanted to leave early, or sometimes I would text them if they weren't there by like 9:30. I'd say, "Is anybody working today?" or they'd be ready to go by 2:00, and I'd be like, "You can't go. We have to work till at least 5:00." But that's another thing about. You learn from them. So it's like, why are we sitting here if we don't really have anything to do? It's okay if you want to leave at 2 or 3 o'clock and go do something that's more productive or fun or whatever. So I've learned that, and I'm so happy for that.
And that's, again, I go back to, I learned this from Keller. It's not necessarily just a Keller thing, but we as entrepreneurs and business owners, we're building a life that we want. And instead of your life around your business, you want to build your business around your life. And if you want to be off at 2:00, then build your business that way.
Right. I was mad Friday morning, so I just said to myself, I'm going to do whatever I want to do today.
Yep.
And I did, and it was a wonderful day.
Best thing about real estate, and that's another thing. When you start out so young, you hear all these words that Keller preaches. I went to all the classes possible, and I really wasn't absorbing it the way I should have. It didn't really hit me and impact me until I got older and started taking it serious. But if you buy in, there's no ceiling.
Yep.
And that's what I started realizing. There's no ceiling if you actually put the work in. These things seem like it's like, they always talk about how big your why is and how big your life is. And you're a prime example of how big it truly can get and how successful you truly can. It motivates me. It motivates me seeing Jimmy here every single day.
And I will say more to that, like, I'm nobody. Like, I grew up in Chivley in a 2-bedroom house. So, like, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. Is like, you can permanently change the trajectory of not only your life, but so many lives around you. And it's
but you're
real estate.
always, your energy's always good.
Thank you.
You always hold the door for girls when they're behind you.
Except for that one time.
And man. Jennifer, I know you're
No,
watching.
it's all good. It's all good. And like I say, I think we have good people.
Yeah.
And it's just a pleasure to come to work because it's just good energy and it makes you happy.
So it sounds like you're moving more into the owner operator role. Is that right, Casey?
It's kind of naturally fell, into that space just because, the strengths we both bring are so different. Obviously, it's kind of happened in the last year, which is great. And I'm learning every single day.
I love that.
Every single day is a learning teaching moment because there's just so much you don't know until you know.
Right.
And that's what I've learned about this game is that you're not supposed to not everything, is written out. Keller has a great roadmap of getting there and all these other teams. That's another thing I love about this company is just the fact you can go to other team owners, the fact they show you. I've asked for team agreements. I've asked for, the fact that I helped build your all's platform too. I got to see like how serious these other owners are, and it only motivates me to.
And how old are you? 26?
Yeah, 26.
See, I didn't figure this stuff out, and I still haven't figured it out. But like 35, so you got a 10-year head start, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
learn.
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right, let's do lightning round. You ready?
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind when I ask you a question, and y'all both got to just fire off.
Okay.
All right.
It's one word.
Just one.
It's one word.
Or
anything.
quick answer. All right.
Okay.
If you weren't in real estate, what would you be doing?
Web design.
Web design?
I think I would have a daycare.
A daycare.
I used to always want to be a nurse. When I was at Remax and I'd get burned out, I'd say, that's it, I'm going to be a nurse.
Okay.
But now I think I would rather be at daycare.
Gotcha.
Lightning round.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do on a Sunday?
Take walks or shop or go somewhere with the girls. Yeah.
Chill on the couch.
Chill on the couch. Yep. Bowl of chili and watch football.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite app on your phone?
Facebook.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, probably.
Don't say Tinder.
Definitely not Tinder. Probably
no Tinder.
Probably Instagram. Yeah, you don't need to know. You already got 2 dates this week.
You got a database. You don't need Tinder.
She may be lead generating on that. I don't know. We'll see. It's a tool.
Yep. What'd you say? Did you answer?
Probably Instagram.
Instagram. All right.
YouTube.
Favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not your thing.
Not any lately.
Not Snoop Dogg and
Prince.
Dr. Dre?
Prince.
He did the halftime show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Super Bowl II?
No, it hadn't been that.
Did Creed do a halftime show?
Creed?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
Am I making that up in my head?
You might be.
Michael Jackson? No. One of the GOATs.
Okay.
One of the GOATs.
If you could have dinner, Trish first, then Casey. If you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, who would you have dinner with?
My Billy.
Billy? Okay.
Wow. That was deep. Steve Jobs.
Okay. Why Steve Jobs?
He's the man. He's the man. He's an innovator. You know, I would love to pick his brand.
I'm going to go down that rabbit hole real quick because I'm laughing at myself because of what I was about to say again. We hear the thing, if you chase two rabbits, you'll catch neither. I know you have a passion for real estate and a passion for web design. How do you not let one distract the other?
Yeah, I'm still figuring that out, Jimmy. I'm not sure.
I kind of felt bad. Like when I asked you to, I was like, I need somebody to build this portal, and I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
And then I heard you do it, and then I'm like getting on you for not getting it done. I'm like, I need him to focus on real estate. I shouldn't have had him do it.
It's a complex thing, but no, I mean, I grew up around IT my whole life. My dad's a computer programmer. My brother is in the IT field too. My best friend runs a successful YouTube channel that's just computer based. Building computers and everything. So I've always been around it. I enjoy it. I've started to realize, especially in the last 2 years, that it kind of goes hand in hand more than I think. They're two different paths. We're in a world right now where, the way she does business is always going to be there. Face to face, relationship based is always going to have a place. But, the 90% of home buyers out there are online. They're on the internet.
Yep.
So really in the last year, I've really been diving into SEO, which is search engine optimization,
Yep.
Really optimizing our web pages, having more of a presence online. So really exciting stuff we're doing on the back end.
So you're truly doing it you're using your passion for the business.
Oh, I'm using it as a strength. I didn't realize that it was an actual skill set I could implement in real estate. But now that I'm seeing that, yeah, it goes hand in hand. But just juggling both companies is always going to be difficult. My wife is my sole partner in that too. So she is taking a lot of the load off me. And I'm kind of like Trish. I like to wear 20 hats at once. I'm a perfectionist. That's why it took so long in the portal, by the way. Sorry about that. I hope you enjoy it. But no, that's what I've realized. It goes more hand in hand than you realize.
He's built websites for a lot of our customers.
Yeah.
So, and they've really appreciated that. So,
well, your digital presence, it's like the park bench of the 1950s, right?
Exactly.
All right. Favorite local restaurant in Louisville? That's a bad question.
We have so many.
Favorite local restaurant in Louisville?
That is a loaded one.
Favorite restaurant in Louisville?
I love, yes, I do. Bonefish.
I
love that.
It's not a local.
Bam shrimp
That's
that
not
they have.
That's a national chain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, you mean a local restaurant? A local.
Say Chicken Me. I don't know if you all have been there.
Chicken Me?
Chicken Me.
Go
there.
Where is that?
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
It's close to Nulu. It's close
Is
to
it?
Nulu,
I still love the Bristol.
The Bristol?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Favorite sports team?
Gosh.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
She's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Celtics, probably.
Celtics? Okay. Interesting. How would you describe your Louisville community?
Like the community we're living in right now?
Yeah.
I love Louisville. I used to always think that I was going to, grow up and move out of here, which, is maybe still on the radar.
Still might do it.
This is always home. The people here are amazing. And, everyone I've grown up around I just love how diverse this city is. I truly do. We don't have the best views, but it's getting better. And I think there's a reason why Louisville hits on all those lists of, rapid growth in the last couple of years. So it's on the map.
I think from having a lot of relocation clients, Louisville's a very friendly town, and it's very easy to make friends here and establish residency. And I love that we can say that our town is friendly and welcoming.
Love that. Favorite small business in Louisville?
Probably the Segrest Flaherty group.
Other than your team.
Oh my gosh. Favorite small business. What did you say? You know a lot of them.
Blue Dog Bakery.
Okay.
I love Blue Dog.
Is that Libby
And that's
Lauzer's?
Libby Lozer. Yeah.
Libby Lozer.
And we love Libby Lozer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say shout out to the people that own Credo up there. They're always so friendly.
Okay.
I'd say that's probably my special one right now.
All right. What is the best piece of advice, Casey then Trish, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh my gosh, anything. I worship Jim Rohn. I don't know why. It's every message he has. I realize a lot of bold laws are straight out of Jim Rohn's seminars. Do you know who Jim Rohn is, by the way?
I know the name. I don't.
Okay, yeah.
He's amazing.
Best motive. She actually put me on to Jim Rohn. He's that I would say every day, like I started listening to podcasts versus listening to rap music, all the
Right.
time in the car, and that changed my mindset, especially my early 20s. That was the biggest thing. Just you giving back to yourself by learning more every single day. You're a big reader.
Yep.
I don't read as much. I'm a big podcast guy. So
Right.
the minute I started doing that, I know I can start reading. Nice library, by the way, too. I think that's my biggest advice is just, start building a foundation and start learning more to better yourself.
Awesome.
I think I've learned a lot at Keller, going to all the leadership classes and everything that I've gone to.
Yeah.
Not to make a decision before you listen. Like you'll go into something and people will say something that it totally is a turnoff to you or
Right.
totally not the way you think. But when you sit there and listen to the reasoning behind it, it's like, oh, well, I
Right.
never thought about it that way. So I think, listen more,
Yeah.
talk less.
Was it come from curiosity?
Right.
Curiosity?
And
Yeah.
be kind. Be kind. Be nice to people. You've heard this a million times. You never know what's going on in somebody
that-
else's life.
Yep.
So don't judge. Just try to be kind and listen.
Don't. You know who Mark King is? I was talking to him the other day, and he started another organization. He goes, Jimmy, he said, my one rule is anybody in my new organization, it can't be an asshole. Be a good human being. But who Seneca? Was it? We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality.
Absolutely.
Like you talk about, you've already predetermined exactly why that person did that to you, and no, that you had nothing to do with it. Like you brought the negativity to it. So, all right, peace, purpose, and profit. What gives you peace? What gives you purpose? And how do you measure success on a daily basis?
Gosh. I think peace and purpose almost go hand in hand. Once you find your purpose, I think in life, I think that's where you find your peace, because I think we're all trying to figure out what we're here on this planet to do. And once you figure that out, I think that kind of gives you the peace, and also just the stability. Financial stability was big on mine. Just I needed to know that, this career path was the one for me, especially in your early 20s, not choosing to go to college, seeing all my friends get degrees. And I'm like, did I miss out? Did I do something wrong? Happy I didn't go that path now because I'm debt free.
Awesome.
But that's probably it. I would say finding your purpose is where your peace is at.
How do you measure success?
I think that looks different for everybody. I think, if you've got a roof over your head, personally, that's all it takes for me. But I'm also looking at a generational aspect. I want my grandkids, just like her. I want my grandkids to be in a world that is taken care of.
Awesome.
Everything for me is family. If my family is in a good place, I'm in a good place. And that's a huge success. There's a whole bunch of them, so. Yeah. If they're all good, I'm so good.
You got 37 part-time jobs. Hey, thank you all so much. I love being in business with y'all, and I appreciate this time together.
Thanks for having me.